What's up everyone, Dimebot here, and welcome back to Flight Sim and Favorite Places to Fly. Today we're going to be taking off in Colorado. Now, I have just chosen an airport at random because we're really here to check out something of a massive major geological feature. I often talk about how I love flying around mountains and rivers. Here's another thing that is very interesting to fly around, and that would be the Great Plains of the United States. So let's go ahead and get flying. Alright, got ourselves a grass strip here. Let's hope the Pilatus can actually take off from here. Should not be too much of an issue. There we are. A little bit of a shaky takeoff, but we should be okay. Now, it's important to note that the term Great Plains is kind of a United States thing. The Canadians do not use it. However, the area that we would call the Great Plains actually lies across the central United States and western Canada. So, we're talking about most or all of Kansas, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, parts of Colorado, Montana, and Wyoming, parts of Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, and the southern portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. However, the Canadians, as I said, they do not actually use this term. They prefer to treat the interior plains, which is what this is actually called, as a one unit over several related plateaus and plains. So, note that if you're talking about the Great Plains, you are talking about the American section of it, most likely. Alright, now that we've gotten leveled off, and you can see why it is called the Great Plains. So, to be more specific, they are nearly horizontal, pretty flat, stretches to the base of the Rocky Mountains. Now, there are lots of different biomes within the Great Plains. You've got the Northern Great Plains, which a lot of you would be familiar with if you've ever seen any nature documentaries of like bison, or you've seen those long rolling hills. That's the part of the plains that you're thinking of, the Northern Plains, where you have the Black Hills and things like that. In the further south, you've got the Intermediate Great Plains. This is what has been called the Badlands. You have the Central Great Plains and the Southern Great Plains. Climate is going to be pretty varied. Everybody has heard about the harsh winters out west in Kansas and everything. Everybody has heard about bison, prairie chickens, things like that. These are the kind of animals that you're going to be spotting in the Great Plains. They have a pretty long history with Europeans and also indigenous tribes as well. In fact, way too much for us to actually go into, but if you're thinking about cattle and Wild West, a lot of that actually was happening out here in the Great Plains. And if you are thinking about long railroads, you are also thinking about the Great Plains. Let's take a little turn here. Now, as far as what we're seeing in the sim, and as far as, accuracy, I've been out west. This is what it looks like. It is long, flat stretches with some rolling hills way in the distance. Keep in mind, we are in Colorado, so we're in one portion of the Great Plains. You are seeing just all of this stretching away. This is America's breadbasket. This is farmlands. This is where the Dust Bowl happened in the 20s. This is also a massive wind-producing area now in modern day. And it also just happens to be spectacularly beautiful. Now, if we take a look at our EFB here. The satellite map on. You can see approximately where we are. There are an insane number of places for you to fly and still be on the Great Plains. Whether you want to do that in something small, you want to do it in a jet. If you're really interested in going west, you can fly across the Rockies. There are absolutely tons and tons of places for you to go. And the EFB will be your best friend in trying to plot those courses. It is pretty spectacular to see from the air how far it stretches, with no real huge hills or anything. Somebody who grew up on the East Coast close to the Appalachian Mountains, it's very, very strange. But it is nonetheless a beautiful place to fly. No less beautiful than the mountains I love checking out, or the rivers. It's just very, very different looking, and something I recommend you guys have a look at in the sim. But that's going to do it for me today. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. If you have a place you want me to check out, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see if I can get to it. If you really enjoy my videos, consider becoming a channel member, and if you're here till the end, watch them as key on YouTube. So thank you. My name is Dinebot. I'll see you guys next time.